sure?
I'm positive.
I'm a little confused.
You're a little confused? Maybe if I stick your fucking face through this window over here, like, you know, you'll get unconfused. Give me the fucking money.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything.
Yeah, I know. That's why you had it ready. You thought I was fucking laying it?
Fucking head.
Your fucking head, huh?
Smart man.
Fuck around, Tony. Don't. I'll leave you wherever I find you.
I'll leave you wherever I find you.
That was Joe Pesci as the mob boss Nicky Santoro in 1995's Casino. Let's listen to another one. I could watch this all day.
I can listen to
This is
Joe
my
Pesci.
favorite thing.
I can listen to Joe Pesci in this movie, like on repeat.
Yeah.
The NPR.
I don't like the movie.
Like movie clips.
I don't like the movie, but I like.
Hi, I'm Terry Gross. Well, we're gonna listen to Joe Pesci call someone a fat fuck and beat him with a phone.
You bald Jew prick.
Oh man, this is my favorite. This is my favorite part too.
Right across your fucking mouth. Look at this fucking butte they put.
Have you seen this movie, Matt?
How many times are you gonna ask me?
Fucking knocking everybody's
Well,
dick
just
in
let's
all
make
night?
it clear.
Huh? You've been beating
Fair
all the
enough.
customers
We're on the
tonight,
mic.
motherfucker? Huh? Jag off. Hit me. Take this stiff and pound it up your fucking ass.
He's making him.
Hit me
He
again.
threw the card back at him.
Take this
That's
one and
what it's
stick it
like
up
when
your
you're the
sister's
boss.
ass. Hit me again. That's it. Keep looking at him, you fucking dummy. If you had any
Oh
fucking
my
heart at all,
God.
you'd be out fucking stealing.
Could only
from the
imagine what it would be
Hit me
like.
again.
Made it all
Matt,
the way
shut
to
the fuck up.
Keep looking at him, and you fucking. Look at this. 20 fucking paints in a row. Hit me again.
This is my favorite. Wait, did they do that where he's like, if you had any heart, you'd be out stealing?
Yeah, he said it.
Did they get to that? Yeah, that's my
Now, you
favorite one.
bald-headed Jew prick. Get out of here. Get out of here. I got a marker coming.
Welcome to the Sit-Down, folks. I'm Mike Recine. With me is my buddy Frank Terranova.
How you doing?
On mic 3 is Matt Anderson.
Hey, how are ya?
And we got a very special episode for you tonight, guys. Today we're talking about Mr. Anthony Spilotro from Chicago, based on Joe Pesci's character in Casino.
I love this guy.
Yeah, this is Frank's favorite person.
Yeah, I just like
Frank
when
models his life after him.
I just like
When Frank is walking dogs, he's like, "What was Spilotro do?" WW.
I just feel like he was like his own
SB.
man.
Yeah.
You know? He didn't give a fuck.
Right.
You know? He didn't kiss nobody's ass.
Mhm.
You know? I like a guy like that. There's a lot to admire about him.
Yeah.
There's something about these guys. He was 5'2". There's something.
5'5".
No, the Wikipedia says 5'2".
Oh.
Anyway, who knows?
Yeah.
I wish I could get like a tenth of Tony in me, you know, because he's crazy.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
The guys that I grew up with, the toughest guys,
You have to
the
be-
guys,
you have to be
the
born
guys
that
that
way.
I would never fuck with in my neighborhood were all little guys.
Mhm.
Nobody tall was a tough guy. It was
Because they got a complex, right?
I don't. Well, they could back it up.
Yeah.
There was a guy in my neighborhood. He was about 5'3". He could kick the shit out of anybody in my neighborhood.
Yeah. My dad was like that. He almost fought somebody at Wegmans one time. He's like 5'7". He's not gonna be fucked with.
Do you feel like you have a complex?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
You're not that short.
My
though.
dick long though.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I got a long, beautiful cock. Anyway, folks, let's go back to the beginning, huh? Tony Spilotro. Now, he's born on May 19th, 1938. The guy grew up in a tough Italian neighborhood, which was
Patch.
a haven for mobsters. What's that?
That's what they called it, the Patch,
Oh, okay.
the Italian part of
Chicago.
northwest Chicago.
Hmm. You ever have an Italian beef sandwich? That's a good sandwich. Slow-cooked beef on a torpedo roll.
Peppers and eggs.
Anyway, so Tony was a guy who was like, he was always looking for a fight, you know? He was aggressive as a kid. And, you know what's funny? It's like people say that maybe like there's something that makes you this way, something happens in your childhood, but maybe some of these guys are like born like that.
No, it's like his father was a hardworking guy, and his father
Yeah, he
opened
owned
up
a
a
restaurant,
restaurant
right?
where all the mobsters hung out. But then he died,
Mhm.
and the mother had to raise like 6 sons or whatever.
Mhm.
And you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
He
'cause
was. I was gonna say like he was a good kid while his dad was alive, right?
no, even before his father died,
He was shaking
like, doing,
kids down.
He was shaking kids down, doing petty crimes. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
his dad died when he was a teenager, and he was like stealing cars and stuff
You know what's
like
interesting?
that. And,
like him and he met.
so you must be born this way, is what I'm saying, right?
I think you have a gene like a no conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Like him and Frank Collada, who was his best friend, who's still I think he's still alive.
Yeah.
They used to like hold up gas stations.
Yeah.
Like that's not something like young proteges of the mob did in New York City. That's some Wild West shit. Holding up gas stations. That's fucking like that's like Wild West shit.
Yeah, he had to be born with it because where else is he getting it from? His environment?
Yeah, well, the environment.
Well,
everybody
maybe, but yeah.
when you're growing up, like Italians back then aren't the way they are now. There was nobody working in finance in Italians. Everybody was blue collar, and it was either go work for $300.
We made it, baby. You know, thanks to the mob, we're able to do coke in an office and sexually harass people.
You know, it's just like the people in your neighborhood that everybody
Scaramucci.
looks up. Even in the 80s, it was like the people in your neighborhood that are big
right.
were in the mob.
Right.
So you're like, oh, I want to be like them.
Yeah.
And now,
What about entertainers, though?
Well,
that's true.
that people, I wanted to be an entertainer my whole life, and
Yeah.
I wanted to be a DJ and then an actor, and people just thought that was gay and unrealistic. People, if you would bring it up, they would be like, yeah, you gotta have fucking perfect teeth to do that. You gotta be gorgeous. You can't fucking.
Frank, make the Zeppelis.
What are
Shut
you?
the
Stop
fuck
being
up and make
stupid.
the
Go get a
Zeppelis.
job in the terminal market.
Yeah.
Unload broccoli rub off the truck.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
But you prove them wrong.
Yeah, look at me now. I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, a little early stuff. So I guess when he was in his early 20s, he met a waitress named Nancy Stewart.
Yep.
She was hot. They got married on January 15th, 1960. And yeah, there was one picture of her in the documentary. She's cute. We'll try to, if we get like a visual aid, we'll try to put it up there.
People got married young
Nancy.
back then.
Yeah.
22 years old, they got married. Jesus.
Why was that?
I
Did they
mean,
stay virgins till they got married?
I don't but I just think he wanted a nice girl who's gonna make a home for you.
Yeah.
This is the early 60s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was no Tinder back then, so if you
Yeah.
met one person, you're like, I gotta lock
Right.
it down.
And it's like side chicks weren't like unheard of back then.
Side chicks. Who are you?
Not me.
Let me tell you, some Italians invented the side chick.
Yeah, we did.
They just called them the gumad.
Right.
Wait, say that again.
Gumad.
Guman. Wait, am I saying that right?
You're not saying nothing right.
G-U-
haven't said anything right.
G-U-A-M.
You haven't said a
A-R-E.
thing right in 3 weeks.
Guman.
Why is he here?
Because he has the equipment, Frank.
Oh, because Shelby let him out of the house today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, didn't he make that joke last week?
Yeah, he did. That's
Oh,
two in
boy.
a row for the listeners.
I saw Matt.
We are
and
going
Shelby.
to run out of material very quickly.
I saw Matt and Shelby at the
Um,
creek in the cave. She let him off his leash.
So Spilotro had a reputation for being very violent and brutal, and he sort of came under the tutelage of this guy Sam DiStefano, who was a loan shark.
That guy's a lunatic.
That guy was a lunatic.
You ever see
yeah.
a picture of that guy?
Yeah.
They called him Mad Sam.
Yeah,
He was like, they would never make him a boss because he was too out of his mind. But he was like,
Was he close to being a boss? Did he? How
Well,
high
he-
of a ranking did he reach?
he went as far as he could go because he was just like,
Yeah.
they were like, listen, when we need something really that nobody else wants to do, this guy will fucking do it. You know what he did to his house? He had rooms in his house. You know how in recording studios they have like mattresses on the wall to absorb the sound so you don't hear the music come from the next room?
Yeah.
He had a room designed like that so he could take guys in there and stick them in the fucking testicles with an ice pick and nobody would hear it.
Wow.
And
Nobody
this-
in the house?
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
he had like kids playing and just like,
there was an FBI
what are you
agent.
doing in there? Yeah.
There was this FBI agent.
Well, law enforcement was even afraid of him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's afraid of this guy.
Yeah.
There was this guy William Romo who wrote a book about Spilotro called The Enforcer, which is a great book. He talked about Mad Sam. He
How
said
many pages?
like I don't know, a couple hundred.
Okay.
So he
Wait a minute. You can read?
I read.
It's like,
So-
where's this going?
So he would go over his house to search, and his wife would make coffee for the FBI guy because it was just protocol.
Yeah.
And Sam used to pee in the coffee. So when he would drink the coffee, he'd be like, I know, this is a very distinctive taste. I don't know what it is. He found out through wiretaps that Sam was peeing in the coffee, and to this day, that guy doesn't drink coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
What a fucked up.
Yeah, he sounds like kind of a pussy.
Well, Mad Sam's piss was in his coffee.
Yeah.
So Mad Sam has a soundproof room that he made himself DIY.
Yes.
So like he's like a modern day podcaster, right? If he was born in the 2000s.
He taught Anthony how to torture somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved torturing people, which like that makes me think like, what if you're just some guy who's like down on his luck, you're some dock worker, and you have to borrow money, you have to go to Mad Sam for money, and you can't pay him, and you get your finger chopped off or something. I mean, like these guys are kind of, I don't know. It just seems like so evil to me to be a loan shark.
You got to see this. You saw this picture?
Yeah,
he is fucking frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's one. Some of these guys, you look at their pictures and you're like, oh my god, you just see like there's no blood in their face.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
Right. Yeah, so Spilotro did his first. Well, this wasn't his first hit. Actually, when he was 24, he killed these two guys who murdered thieves in the Chicago. What part of Chicago was it?
The Patch.
The neighborhood, the Patch.
Yeah.
And so these two guys murdered these two thieves, and Spilotro found them, and he stuck the one guy's head in a vice.
Yeah.
And that was that like his? Those were his first two murders. He was 24 when that happened.
He got away. Acquitted. Like for most of the stuff he did in Chicago, and then when he went out to Vegas, he got acquitted for most of the murders he was charged with there. And then they found out years later that the judge was taking bribes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually the case. Like every time Gotti went to court and he got out, because people were bribed.
Yeah, everything I read about this guy was like, we have no idea how he got off.
He got off on everything. He got acquitted on everything.
Every murder, yeah. Well, because there was a loan shark named Leo Foreman. So one day Leo Foreman kicks Mad Sam out of his office, and then Spilotro lures Foreman to his basement. He was like, "Look, I just built a bomb shelter," because people were building bomb shelters around that time. And he lures him downstairs, and then Spilotro and DiStefano just torture him to death.
Yeah,
They like hit his kneecaps with a hammer. They cut his flesh off.
Ugh.
Just kill the guy. What are we dragging this out for?
Right.
Sometimes they were trying, like the guy, them murders, they were trying to get information out of the guy, and when his first eye popped out, then he gave up the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He waited for his first eye to pop out of it. They depict it in Casino a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What is a vice used for? All I know is that you stick someone's head in there.
Glue and wood together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Holding
Just
something
holding stuff, yeah.
while you do something to that.
Mm-hmm.
Not squishing somebody's head.
Right.
Typically,
There used to be vices in like wood shop in junior high school.
Yeah.
And they used to try to put people's hands in there.
Oh, yeah.
oh, Jesus Christ.
One of my favorite things to do is just walk around Home Depot and just like, I mean, there are so many, if you're creative, there's just so many murder and torture devices.
Oh, right. And then you go check
Just at Home
out,
Depot, yeah.
and then you pat your wallets, and then don't pay and leave.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, there's so many weapons there if you wanted to.
Right. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying you, like, grabbed him, and then you were, like, messing with somebody else.
Oh, no.
You're just, like, brainstorming how to kill somebody super creatively.
No. But,
I was going to say, that Foreman guy that they tortured in the basement,
yeah.
he was, like, they were working together, right? Wasn't he, like, his bookie?
Yeah, I think so.
He was, like, setting the numbers, and they were working together.
You know, in every story, it always ends up like this. And him and Frank Collada, they were buddies, and by the end of the story,
Yeah, Collada ratted on him.
Collada ratted him, and he was going to kill him. It's like,
Mhm.
it's your friend from when you were a baby, and you fucking going to kill him.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But that's the thing. It's like if one guy gets pinched, how do you, I don't know, can you blame him for being a rat?
Frank Collada is like he was on the set of Casino, like, telling people what actually happened and stuff.
Oh, he was?
And he was in the movie. He played a character named Curly.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
He killed so many people, but he's just a movie consultant now.
Collada, right?
Yeah, he killed many people.
Did he do any time?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And he could just talk about it freely?
These
He's like,
guys
yeah,
have all the luck.
He
you
was
know?
on the documentary. He's like, yeah,
Well, on
so then Anthony told me to kill the guy, so I killed him.
Well, he said another guy killed him. He didn't admit to any murders
no,
in the
he
documentary.
admitted to.
No, because I replayed it. He was like, I told him to come over, and a guy killed him.
Oh,
I think he said a guy killed him.
yeah, he fucking copped out.
And he, like, winks to the
Yeah, it's
camera
crazy.
every time.
Yeah. It's like show business. Some guys just get lucky, you know?
Yeah.
You ever do
Less talented guys
what's
get lucky.
what's
They
the
get
comedy clubs that are in the suburbs of Chicago? The Funny Bone,
stuff. Zanies.
Zanies.
Yeah.
You ever you've done them?
Yeah.
And the wise guys in there?
No,
No?
come on. Yeah, they're there to see Colin Jost. They're like, oh, I love Weekend Update. You're so funny, and you got
But
great
is there
hair.
Italians there? Is there Italians at the club?
Not really. No.
There's a lot
It's
of
mostly
Italians there.
Midwestern. Yeah. Yeah, you don't think Italians when you think of Chicago.
Well, Al Capone got run out of East New York because he was a pussy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then he went out to Chicago and started his own family, and that's that was the start of it.
Same thing with comedy too.
Yeah, they can't do it here, so they go.
They go, yeah,
I'm going to move to Austin
we
and start
know
my
who you're
own
talking.
family.
yeah. You know who you are.
Everybody sucks at comedy.
They sure do. So Tony's brutality came in handy, but after a while, he started to feel like they were just using him to do their dirty work. And the outfit, which was the name of the mob in Chicago, they wanted to make sure he was a good earner. So they put him in charge of a bookmaking operation, and that's where he met Frank Lefty Rosenthal.
He died recently.
He died in 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rosenthal was like a genius gambling guy. He ran a big.
You see a picture
big
of the
numbers.
real guy? He
Yeah.
doesn't look anything like Robert De Niro. He
No,
looks
he
more like
doesn't.
Frank Perdue.
Yeah.
You see this fucking guy? He looks like Harvey Korman.
Mm-hmm.
You know who Harvey Korman is?
No,
From
that's
the Carol Burnett Show? He just looks like an old, he looked old then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How the hell was he involved? Because he was just a smart guy in the
His
Marvel.
wife was hot.
Yeah, but she was a fucking whore.
Yeah. And one thing on this podcast, we do not appreciate whoas.
She was a fucking slob.
Yeah. If you're a hua, if you're a woman and you had more than 10 penises in you, we do not support your lifestyle.
She was like, he made a whole housewife. He tried to.
I'm actually more of a free thinker. Like, I think women should do what they want.
Good for you. They're never happy about it.
Jesus. Right.
Sex positivity leads to depressing women with cats.
Mm-hmm. Sure does. Ladies, if you're listening, stop fucking around. Find a nice guy, settle down.
Yeah.
And
They don't deserve a nice guy.
Yeah. No, they don't. Anyway, you know how Guys We Fucked is the anti-slut-shaming podcast?
Yeah.
We're the Sitdown, the slut-shaming podcast. This is a mafia/slut-shaming
Yeah.
podcast.
I mean, it leads to diseases. So there you go. Keep being positive about all the fucking track marks on your fucking snatch.
Jesus Christ. I was going to say, is there a new segment that you guys didn't tell me about? Horror of the week.
No, that's just a common theme. We don't like women using their bodies how they want. We want to tell them what to do.
Let them. I hope they're proud. I'm the biggest.
Anyway.
Like I goof on women in my act, and I'm so sweet to them in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You would never gaslight anyone.
No. Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So let's talk about Rosenthal. He was like a genius, right?
He was.
really
Yeah.
good at yeah.
He made a living his whole life just betting basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was it about him that made him so talented? He would just get all the information.
You know what he was? He was autistic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he crunched the numbers.
Ah, okay.
He was fucking great.
Shut that fucking dog up! I'm gonna eat him for lunch.
Robert De Niro was way too cool to play that guy.
That's what I thought too. But who else would they?
I know.
Like a William H. Macy or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have been
Yeah.
somebody like that.
Was he scared of?
What are you gonna do? Say no to De Niro if he
Yeah.
wants to do the movie?
De Niro was too cool for that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pesci was too old for the fucking Spilotro part.
I don't think so.
You know what they should have got? They should have
What?
got John Turturro to play Lefty.
Yeah.
And they should have got Nicholas Turturro to play Spilotro.
They should have got Aida Turturro to play Spilotro.
Yeah, she would have been great. But you know something? You know what they fucked up with Casino?
Janice from Sopranos.
I'm not a fan of the movie Casino. I think it's a failure.
Yeah.
You know what where they went wrong?
Where?
Spilotro should have been the lead character,
Mm-hmm.
and Lefty Rosenthal should have been supporting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because Lefty is not that interesting. There's
Right.
nothing interesting about him. You're spending 3
Right.
hours on a guy that's not interesting.
Right. Yeah, it just seemed very he was very by the book, right?
They should just make a movie about Spilotro. They could do it again. Make another movie about him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking interesting fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. What was his personality like? Because it didn't really get to that in the documentary. Was there a charm to him?
He was a
he
loose
friendly?
cannon.
He was a loose cannon.
Yeah.
But there must have been I don't know. I wonder what he was like as a person.
Picture this guy. He's got all the confidence in the world. He walks in. He's fucking 5'2". He comes strutting in the casino in a
Yeah.
$3,000 suit
Yeah.
with a fucking Italian accent.
I'm trying to think who's our closest friend to that. You know, who's a fucking
there's
loose
nobody like
cannon
that.
like that. Well, I mean,
Yeah, there's nobody.
obviously, but the closest you could get.
Me.
In the comedy world, nobody.
Yeah.
There's no tough guys in comedy.
Yeah. Sure aren't.
Just all pussies.
So, yeah. So Spilotro got indicted a bunch of times. He got indicted in 1967 for running the gambling ring. He was running a betting operation out of his house in 67. The feds caught him for that, but then he just got fined. And then in 1969, he was running a gambling ring out of
Basement. It was a basement.
out of a basement, right?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't open the door. And
Yeah.
when the feds finally got in, he takes the gambling tickets and he puts them in his mouth and tries to eat them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
When they
on
went-
special ink that erased
If you
with
look
water.
if you look at
But
the
it-
mugshot,
Yeah.
he's got a mouthful of betting tickets. He's like,
Really?
yeah, it's hysterical.
What was he gonna do? Eat all the betting tickets?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's great.
I mean, what I watched, it sounded like he was about to get away with it until like somebody called and made a bet while they were there, busting him.
Yeah. Yeah, the feds picked up the phone and somebody was trying to make a bet. Do you gamble?
Who, me? No,
Yeah.
not at all.
No.
I would if I had money.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I've been
That'd
to
probably
Vegas.
be my thing if I
I've been
get
to
rich
Vegas
one day.
multiple times. I never gambled the red cent.
Really?
Yeah.
You should.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
If
Yeah.
you've never done it, how do you know?
Oh, I mean, I've
Same thing with being gay.
I've put in, I've put,
Yeah,
I've
right.
I've put coins in slot machines. I've played under and over at the Our Lady of Miracles. I never wanted to like play cards with anybody for money. I've never wanted to go to Vegas and put money on. I'm not going to begin to study the game.
What's
Yeah,
the most
It
amount
is
of money?
fun, but it's not worth it.
The people that are into it, it's a sickness. It's like an addiction. And I mean, it's one I don't like. I'm pretty disciplined with that kind of stuff.
Clean
There is no
living.
better feeling than winning money, though.
Oh God, no.
I found $20 on the floor the other night.
Yeah,
That was a great feeling.
good for you.
Yeah.
Where at?
The creek.
It was in a guy's pocket that he knocked out.
No, it was on the floor. It was on the floor,
Uh-huh.
and it was mine after that.
I won $1,000 at once on a slot machine,
Yeah.
and that was so amazing.
I lost money so many
Yeah.
times. I lost money. I threw money in the street once by accident.
Jesus.
I thought it was a napkin.
So after Spilotro's second indictment, he realized that he's got to get out of town. He's got to get out of Chicago. And also he was kind of feeling like he had gone as far as he could go in Chicago.
Right.
He wanted to do more stuff because he wanted to be boss or captain. But I don't know. I wonder what kind of boss he would have made.
I think they thought he was too violent to be a
Terrifying.
a captain.
Yeah.
Dude would have started shit.
There are
Yeah.
guys that are useful, but they're too fucking crazy, and they're like, nah.
Yeah. This guy seems to be kind of like the opposite of Gigante because Gigante seemed to be very calculated and like
Yeah.
even though he was ruthless, it seemed like Spilotro would just kind of fly off the handle and kill somebody.
I mean, he had 3 strikes against him. He number one, he did a hit without getting an authorization.
Mhm.
Then he slept with what's his
You
name's
always
wife?
jump ahead in this. We're trying to tell a story here.
All right, whatever.
I got a whole document.
It's fine. What's the third strike?
The third strike was
He
he was a woman.
He was banned.
He
from
was
the,
trans.
He was banned from the
He
casino.
transitioned to be a woman.
No,
and
he was banned. He was banned.
That's frowned upon in the organization to cut your penis off and make it into a vagina.
He was banned from the casino. So like that's
Spoiler alert.
What that, it's against the mafia to be gay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not progressive of him.
What the
Not
fuck?
that I expect it.
No. Well, the Italian mafia. The some of the other other places, it's like actually encouraged.
Oh.
Yeah.
What, the
Okay.
Russians?
Like the Canadian mafia.
Yeah, the Russians they toss down the vodka, they suck cock, and then they shoot people.
Canadian mafia.
The Canadian mafia.
Yeah, it's actually. Yeah.
You done
They're
fucked
allowed
up
to.
now. I'm gonna put a bullet.
Oh, you're gay? Oh, that's all right. You gotta be who you
You know-
are.
You know, this guy is the only Chicago guy I like.
Oh yeah.
Spilotro?
Yeah, he's the only Chicago dude I like.
What is it with the Chicago guys? They're just not as.
I just feel like they act like they're like sort of like New Yorkers, like,
Mm.
but they're not. Like, and even when somebody's Italian,
Kind of
from
like
there-
comedy too. When somebody moves here and they're like, "Oh, it was a big deal in Chicago."
Right.
What-
You're like, "Shut the fuck up."
when I meet an Italian guy, from Philadelphia or Chicago or Boston, and they try to relate to me, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Get in line, Jack. You're like 5th behind me.
What about Jersey?
That's not as bad as the rest of the places I just said.
Yeah. There's no Italians left in New York anymore, though. There's like one street where there's Italians.
There's Italians. Drogsneck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
where
I mean, like Carroll Gardens is like the only place.
There's a couple there.
Yeah. I guess
Howard Beach.
Diker Heights. We'll take a little podcast trip to Diker Heights. We'll go to some restaurants.
We should go to Don Pepe's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Diker Heights? It's like strategically planned so that no trains, you can't access it by train.
All the best neighborhoods don't have any trains.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're in Vegas, and so when the Mafia built their casinos, they had a pretty good relationship with the Teamsters. I didn't even know what a Teamster was until a couple days ago. It's the truck driving union. So they had a good relationship with the Teamsters union, and
sounds like a
they
sorority.
used those funds to build casinos. I guess the when they started to build casinos, the Mafia was really involved, and
They had the skim going.
they had the skim.
I love the skim.
What's the skim? They just take money off the top.
Off the top, all the money that's made,
Yeah.
they take they get a profit and they bring it in the back room and then they send it back to Chicago.
Yeah. Why is that?
So they get protection from the mob.
Can casinos go out of business that way?
Nah,
I guess, right.
nobody even lost that money. It's like tax write-off.
Yeah.
Is it still happening?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there's no mob in Las Vegas at all.
There's no mafia, period. Those are negative stereotypes against our people.
I love Las Vegas. You ever been there?
When I was 12, yeah.
I've been there 4 times. I love it there.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, it's just like decadence. And
Yeah.
now it's even better because they got Rayos there.
Uh-huh.
They got everything there.
Yeah.
Oh, forget it. And like
You like Atlantic City?
Donnie and Marie, I love them. What?
You like Atlantic City? Or
I've never been to Atlantic City.
Really?
Yeah, me neither.
We got to take another
I feel
road
like
trip.
Vegas is the real deal.
Yeah. AC's fun. I mean, it's trashy.
It's not clean though.
No, it's not.
Vegas is fucking clean.
Mm-hmm.
Every pool.
AC is like
amazing.
Yeah, it's like
You
kind
ever
of
see
depressing.
the pools? You ever see pictures of the pools in Vegas?
No.
Like if you go like any hotel, whether it's what's the one that's like Julius Caesar, Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And
You got Harrah's, you got Circus. You
no,
got
fuck
that's
that.
not even on the strip.
that's where Spilotro worked at Circus. He had a gift shop.
Luxor.
That was his front.
Yeah.
No, but like the Trop has a good fucking pool. And the pools are so fucking they go for like miles.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Well, the
amazing.
mob wanted in on this action, and they needed a guy to go out there and protect their investment. So Spilotro was getting tired of being in Chicago, and they needed some muscle out there, so they sent him. They sent 5'5", 5'2". I think he was 5'5". Whatever. They sent 5' Anthony Spilotro to be
go
their-
and protect
to be
their-
muscle.
Investment.
I love
so-
Spilotro.
So Spilotro gets there in 1971, and as soon as he lands, local cops come and they harass him. They want him out of town.
Like immediately.
Yeah, like as soon as he gets off the plane.
That's fucking hilarious. They just knew to be on the lookout for this guy.
There you go.
Yeah. But then in the next couple weeks, okay. Yeah, I thought the documentary said 5'5", but that's interesting. But then in the next couple weeks, bodies start turning up of loan sharks. So I guess as soon as he got there, he just started murdering loan sharks.
They said as soon as Spilotro got to Vegas, the
Yeah.
murder rate went
Went up through the
straight
roof.
up. Yeah. I
That's
love
great.
that. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
they're
really
like
think
all
they.
like-
Some of these guys like Nicky Scarfo, they must just love to hurt and kill people.
It's fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
And
it?
These are like super crazy murders too. They were
Yeah.
finding, right?
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I'm not going to.
Let me tell you something. These guys are the real deal.
I'm not going to judge these guys because I feel like I'm a law-abiding citizen and I'm a
Mhm.
sensitive man. I'm a good Catholic and I've never hurt people.
Right.
There's a couple of people I should have hurt.
Yeah.
And there's somebody right now I would really like to hurt. Why can't I hurt them?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why can't I just baseball bat somebody's head that I want to?
Right.
Why do I got to go to jail for that?
Great
Right.
questions.
Also, if somebody comes out and they're like, "Hey, we're in charge now," I don't know. I wonder how I would react to that.
Not
Do you
well.
respect it? If somebody shows up and they're like, "You owe me $10 a month now,"
Well, if they had a reputation
don't
for
know.
murdering people in
Everybody's
like a gruesome
rat.
way,
Everybody's such a stoolie.
Yeah.
Like I remember when that shit was frowned upon. I remember. I'll tell you a quick story. Me and another kid got beat up by a bully like 4th grade, right? No, 3rd grade.
Mhm.
And this tough Irish kid, Peter Demarest.
you're like, oh, 4th grade was the gambling range.
No. So he beat up me and this kid Frank, and he really beat up Frank more than me because I took a beating better than Frank did, and Frank
Yeah.
was crying like a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
So then the next day, we're in class. Frank isn't in class. Me and Peter in class, right? And the principal comes and calls me out of the classroom, and Frank is there with his mother.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to tell my mother. I didn't tell nobody what happened.
Right.
It's just my instinct.
Yeah.
My natural Italian instinct not to say a word. So he calls he goes, Frank said that you and him got beat up yesterday by Peter.
Mhm.
I said, nah. He goes, are you saying that didn't happen? I go, nah, I wasn't there. And I went back.
Oh, you got beat up
Yeah, we both did.
and you didn't even tell on
No.
him. Yeah.
So I went back into the classroom.
Yeah.
This kid Frank became like that fucking outcast.
Yeah.
Me and Pete became buddies.
Uh-huh.
I hung out with him for years. Jump ahead a couple years later, I saw Frank tripping out on acid by himself on a bus.
Right.
He became like a loner.
Yeah. And it's
No-
all from being a rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's what he got the fate he deserved.
Mhm.
I got to be Pete's buddy.
I liked you calling him a bitch too for crying.
What a
That's
fuck-
what's crazy about these guys. They like try to kill each other and they don't even tell the cops or anything.
Yeah,
They don't
you
even
never
you
tell
don't
the
even rat
cops.
on the guy who tries to murder you.
I never in my life went to a cop.
Yeah.
I don't remember once. I think just
They're
to get-
worthless.
No, because I had to get a police report for my accident,
Mhm.
and they were nasty to me when I went to pick up the police report. They were like, "What?" They were like, "Why are you standing here?" I said, "I'm waiting for my police report." They're like, "Stand, get out of the way!" And what are you yelling at me?
Mhm. Well, you know who else is out in Vegas at this time is Frank Lefty Rosenthal.
Yeah.
So Spilotro gets to link up with his old friend, and even the two their wives became friends. Rosenthal was married to a former showgirl named Jerry McGee, who became Jerry Rosenthal.
Fucking
She
Irish
was
bitch.
Yeah. She was hot.
She's hot, but I guarantee you she was fucking unemotional and fucking detached
Mm-hmm.
and fucking and ruined his life.
Yeah. Well, he was autistic, though, so he probably just...
Yeah.
She probably married him for the money.
It's like marrying a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a handful, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Ugh.
She was a drug abuser.
If I
She had
remember
fits of
anything from
rage.
Casino.
No, it wasn't true. Casino, they made her to be a prostitute. That wasn't true.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I was going to say she was a real piece of shit in Casino. I
She is a
remember
piece.
that.
She was a piece of shit in real life, but she wasn't a.
Wait,
a
you didn't see
hooker.
Casino?
No. I saw it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. She was a hustler.
I think Casino. When I watch it, I just feel like Scorsese lost control of the film and he just slapped it together in the editing room.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Looks like a movie spiraling out of control.
There's some great moments, though.
It's like Bill Burr's last special wasn't his best.
Yeah.
That Casino was like Bill Burr's last special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But,
she was still like crazy though, right? She like what came out on.
He tried to make it domestic. He tried to make her a housewife, and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
She wanted to go out, and she went out and she started fucking his friend
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because that's what they do.
Women.
No, when you treat a girl good, and they're like all of a sudden they get bored, so they got to go fuck some fucking psycho.
Right.
I was thinking about getting flowers for Shelby tonight.
That's why.
Should I not do that?
Do not
She'll-
get her flowers.
She'll fuck somebody else.
No, get a flower. Shelby's nice.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Mike.
No, you got to keep them on their toes.
I think
They're too nice,
I think
they'll
Shelby
fucking-
Shelby appreciates Matt.
Thank you, Frank.
But anyway, yeah. So the two guys, their wives become friends. Like Frank said, Spilotro opened a gift shop at Circus Circus that he paid $70,000 for, and that's where he was. That was kind of like his base. Now, on September 1st, 1972, Spilotro is indicted for the. We mentioned Leo Foreman earlier when him and DiStefano killed this guy.
Yeah.
He's actually indicted for that murder.
Right.
So he goes back to Chicago. He calls Mad Sam. Now, Mad Sam was in a preliminary hearing, and he made a spectacle of the
Yeah.
court, like he was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wasn't that in the movie? It's so funny.
I don't know, but that's a great. Yeah.
Mad Sam wasn't a character in Casino. He should
He
have been.
should have been.
Oh,
Yeah.
they missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. Mad Sam's just seems like a different level of crazy.
Yeah.
You'd think when they call you Mad Sam, you tone it down a little bit. Like they're like, "Oh, you're Crazy Joe," and you're like, "Oh, really? I should maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it would give you some introspection or something."
Crazy Sal.
He could have learned something from the chin.
Yeah. So what happens is Spilotro calls Mad Sam and he's like, "Listen, let's talk about we're going to kill this witness in your case." And he goes to his house and he sticks a double-barreled shotgun in his chest and kills Mad Sam. And then he gets acquitted.
Right.
And that's because the judge was paid off, he said.
Yeah, we got probably
Yeah.
That shit's so
Then why did they have
fucked
to
up.
kill Mad Sam? Just they wanted him out of the way.
because he's fucking gonna bring too much exposure to the mob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that first spectacle day, right?
A lot of the killings are because of the rules.
Right.
Like you just gotta. They're really big on the rules. Like,
Yeah.
Like Joe.
That is a common theme too in in a lot of these movies and stuff. It's like the rules versus a sense of right and wrong or a sense
It's
of
like you're not supposed to sleep with another guy's wife,
yeah, it's a big one.
and that's what he did, man.
Mhm.
Why did he have to sleep with her? There was a million showgirls in Vegas.
I don't know. So in 1974, Circus Circus gets sold, and Tony has to give up the gift shop. He paid $70,000 for it. The reason I mentioned that, he got $700,000 for it when he sold it.
Hell
I guess
yeah.
Vegas was it was taken off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he legit 10x'd his business.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Good
no
for him.
mob shit. Just fucking straight up 10x'd his business.
I know a lot of these guys they kill each other. You get killed by your friend. They go to prison. They die early. But they just the quality of life is so much better.
Right.
I love the scene where he meets De Niro in the desert,
Yeah.
and he goes, "A million times I wanted to tell him, we're supposed to be out here robbing, you dumb fucking heeb."
He's quoting somebody. So
yeah, that's not Frank.
yeah.
So that's
Sorry. Oh wait. Here it is.
Fucking army going over my head.
What people?
What people would you think I wasn't gonna find out? You said I'm bringing heat on you? I gotta listen to people because of your fucking shit? You're ordering me out? You better get your own fucking army, pal. I don't know whether you know this or not, but you only have your fucking casino because I made that possible. I'm what counts out here, not your fucking country clubs or your fucking TV shows. And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow? You know I get calls from back home every fucking day. They think you went batshit. I asked you.
The funniest thing in these videos is like you scroll down, you read the comments, and it's just the dumbest people commenting on stuff.
Yeah.
Like even like Sopranos clips. You're like, that's right. That's why you don't disrespect the boss. Simpler times.
Oh boy.
I wish it was still like that. Sometimes.
I like when
don't know.
De Niro's waiting for him, and you see the car like driving through the desert, and you see the dust from the car, and you see it like in his sunglasses, like the reflect. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So Scorsese, good director.
Yeah.
So this is around the time that that Spilotro starts to have an affair with Rosenthal's wife.
That's where he really
that's
fucked
where
up.
He really fucked
and
up.
he knew
had
it too.
Yeah, he
He
had
said
a
it.
weakness for that or something, right?
Yeah, he just had a
He just loved going after other guys' wives.
He liked getting other people's women. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he developed a rep, right?
Matt,
Yeah.
do you worry about people going after your girlfriend?
No, she's great.
Yeah.
She'll fucking tell somebody off or show me like a fucking whack text.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd
If
like to see
somebody's
somebody
texting
try
her-
to steal my girl.
Right?
Good luck. So he's having an affair with Rosenthal's wife. Now Spilotro was not secretive about this affair at all. He flaunted it. They were going around on the strip together. At one point, Rosenthal calls his wife on her car phone, and she doesn't pick up. And he calls again. She doesn't pick up. And then finally, Spilotro picks up the phone, and that's when Rosenthal knew that he was fucking his wife. So what Rosenthal did was just he kind of buried himself in his work, and he had to be careful because who knows?
You got a psychopath out there.
There's a psychopath fucking your wife, who will kill you without.
He wasn't.
So that must have been nerve-wracking
Torture
for him.
and kill
He
you.
was not being low key about it. He was not like
Yeah.
they weren't meeting secretly. He was going out to big events with her on
with
his
her.
own.
Really?
That's how fucking bold he was.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he had to worry about Sam beating him up because Sam wasn't going to do anything. But I mean,
I bet Sam was worried too, right?
he was worried that Spilotro would kill him.
Yeah.
But like the bosses back home, what did he think they wouldn't hear about it? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe he thought they.
That
would.
was a big rule, right? You can't fuck around with the other guy's
It's still a
wife.
bit. That's one
Yeah.
guy told me, he's like, there's two things you never do. You don't fuck with somebody's money, and you don't fuck with their woman. Like, those are two things you gotta.
Right, like different forms of property. You don't
Yeah.
you don't go after that. Yeah. That's in the military too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What, you don't fuck other people's...
What about somebody's ex? Can you go after somebody's? That's off limits.
In the military, there's like tons of cheating and weird shit. I mean, I was in. I'm not just saying that
Yeah.
randomly.
You were in the Air Force, though. That doesn't count.
Yes.
You're in the Air Force.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
But yeah, so he had a bad habit of doing that. So what happens is Spilotro's best friend and I guess his lieutenant, Collado, goes to Chicago. There's a scene in Casino like this where the Chicago bosses are like, is he... I don't know if they said this. But
The little guy, he's not fucking the Jew's wife, is he?
Yeah. and Collado knows that if he lies to him, he could get whacked himself, but he's like, nah, I don't think so.
Oh, what a good lieutenant.
Well, not for long.
You know what's funny thing about Spilotro? Like, he was a respected guy. He's a big person in the fucking syndicate, the outfit, what they call it in Vegas, what they call it in Chicago. Like that's fun. Like, they have different names for it out there. But he still ran like a crew of desperados who fucking just burglarized fucking, like, he still was like a kid.
Spilotro?
He still
The hole in the wall gang.
Yeah, he still
Yeah.
did. Like, it's so funny. Like, he was doing things.
I guess he just wasn't making enough money,
You
or
know,
he
that's
wasn't
like
satisfied.
That's
or-
like being a guy who's had like an hour special and still goes to open mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like fucking.
He's like the Mike Lawrence of...
Mike doesn't go to open mics anymore, I think.
I guess he just loved the game. Yeah, but he assembles his gang, and they start robbing people, and they
Yeah.
start, blah, blah, blah. And then in November 1978, the FBI bugged a mob hangout in Kansas City. In the movie Casino, it's a grocery store.
Yeah.
And so now they know that the mafia is taking money from the casinos. They know how it's being transported. They know the names involved, and
That one guy.
and that was bad. The feds start to close in.
That one guy kept like a diary.
Yeah. Yeah, just wrote everything down.
The guy who played that part, he's a working actor. I don't know if he's still alive, Vinny Vella, but at the time he wasn't. He was just like a guy who had a butcher shop on Elizabeth Street, and they cast him in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you guys seen that new Wet Hot American Summer?
No.
There's this guy who's got a diary, and he's like cheating on his girlfriend, and in his diary he like writes exactly how he's cheating on her with who.
Yeah.
It's like I just thought of that when Frank was talking about the diary.
Nice.
Diary.
So they don't know the feds are closing in. So Spilotro gets into so much trouble. At the beginning of the 1980s, he's robbing people. He's kind of going insane. He gets put on in this black book, which is listing the individuals who are not allowed to enter casinos. So he's supposed to be out there protecting the Mafia's casino investment, and he's not even allowed to like go in.
And why did he get blacklisted?
He was just kind of out of control, right?
He was listed
Anger.
as an unsavory type.
Yeah.
Just drinking, yelling, being a general hooligan.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
Yep. So now he's not even allowed in a casino. So, and at the same time, an FBI mole infiltrates Spilotro's gang. So this is kind of the beginning of the end for this guy. Things are not going well.
Okay.
Now the gang made a plan on July 4th to rob a store called Bertha's. I forget what it was. Do you remember, Frank?
On July 4th?
Yeah.
No.
There was a place called Bertha's something. It was a jewelry store, but they were going to rob it. Now the mole was feeding the feds this information, so they're watching the guys, and they were going to do it on the 4th of July because there's fireworks.
Right.
4th of July is the best day to kill somebody, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Hell yeah.
Halloween.
Well, Halloween's the best day to rob a bank.
It's also the best day to murder somebody because you can wear a ninja suit and you won't be look like a weirdo.
Oh, yeah? And Arbor Day is... right.
Not that I'm planning anything.
Well,
What's Arbor Day good for?
it's the best day to molest a kid
Why is that?
because everyone's thinking about trees.
Okay.
Everyone's planting trees and not watching their
the best
kid.
day to rob the best day to rob a house is during a blizzard
Yeah,
because the cops can't chase you.
right.
Okay.
Christmas is the best day to take a picture up a woman's skirt.
And you could jump out the window and land in the snow.
Yeah.
Why is Christmas the best day to take a picture of some girl's skirt?
Because they're not thinking about it, and they're wearing that.
Still thinking about God. What if
They're
they're
wearing
Jewish?
a skirt with candy canes on it.
Okay.
If they're Jewish, actually, Hanukkah is the best day to. Hanukkah is the best day to commit a hate crime.
Well, I don't even know when Hanukkah is because it's so insignificant.
Yeah. Well, it's not the big Jew holiday.
They celebrate Christmas. Jews put up a tree and wrap gifts.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. I knew a lot of Jews that did that.
Yeah.
Not
All right.
good ones.
All right, we settled it.
They want to have fun.
Yeah.
Arbor Day. Putting
They
it in
have
my
to. They have
calendar.
to admit that Christmas is a fun holiday.
It's the best.
Yeah. It is the best holiday.
Christmas and the 4th of July are my two favorite holidays.
I like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I like all holidays. I like Halloween. I'm a holiday guy.
I'm not a Halloween guy.
I'm a fun guy. I like fun.
Yeah. So what happened was they're robbing Bertha's, so they go in and the feds bust them. So Collado gets busted, Spilotro's lieutenant, and I don't know, he kind of had no choice but to become a government witness, right?
Yeah.
Or did he?
Because he knew that Tony was trying to kill him.
Oh, Tony was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
For lying to for the upper.
No. He just wanted him out of the way?
Because like I don't know why.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Is there a time where it's okay to go into witness protection and you're not a bitch?
No.
Well,
Because like it seems like his lieutenant had his hand forced, you know?
yeah. I heard that you can flip like 9 out of 10 guys if you just show them a picture of their family. And then like that's how you get to them.
You know what? Somebody told me I know a guy, and
What do you think? Yeah, I know. He's got autism.
9 out of 10.
because listen.
You can flip 9 out of 10 guys if you're like, this is your daughter, you're never going to see her again, you're never going to hold your grandkid again, unless you tell us what we want to know.
I don't know about that.
4 out of 5 enforcers agree.
Yeah.
You know where they went
I
wrong?
asked a friend of mine, this black guy from East New York, I was like, there's still some mafia left, right? He was like, yeah, they're still snitching on each other.
My friend, his brother was a big wise guy in his whole family.
Yeah.
And he still has a lot of their money, and he's parlayed it into legitimate businesses. Like all those nice luxury homes in Williamsburg, he built that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And he was an actor, and I directed him in a play.
Oh, nice.
And he played a mob boss in the play. And he told me, he goes, you know where they went wrong in the mob? First guy that ratted should have whacked out his whole fucking family. The wife, the kids, the children. He goes, that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They always leave
They had the code.
They have the code.
Yeah.
They leave women and children alone. He goes, that's what they should have did. First guy rats, whack out his whole fucking family.
Right.
Nobody would ever rat it again.
But if you're facing 30 years, isn't that
I know a lot of guys that faced 30 years and they took it.
they took 30 years?
Yeah, I know. The boss of the Lucchese family is in Connecticut doing time. He kept his mouth shut. Gotti kept his mouth shut.
But if you're
The
facing
Chin kept his mouth shut.
But if you're facing 30 years, you're like, well, then I might as well.
What if the government could kill your family?
They probably
They
could.
probably do. The government kills more people, all right, than anybody, more than the terrorists and more than the criminals.
You know, the
Right.
mafia
Anyway.
is nothing but independent business.
Mhm.
And the only reason the government has a problem with them is because they're not seeing any of the profit.
Mhm.
So they're like, oh, these fucking guys are making money in their final tax return. That's all they care about.
Yeah,
It's not the people who get killed. They don't care about the people who get killed.
right. Well, things are looking pretty bad for Spilotro. He's fucking Rosenthal's wife. He's his gang gets busted.
He has a heart attack.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
He wanted to kill Collado, so Collado becomes a government witness.
And then it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, he takes him. He says, "Yeah, Tony killed these people," and they're like, "That's your word against his," and they let Tony go.
Yeah. Wow.
Then
Wow.
then
Yeah, yeah.
Collado was in trouble because he's like, "Holy shit, I just ratted on him, and they're not using it."
And then where was he? Did they keep him safe or anything? Or
Yeah.
did they? Because in Casino, the Collado character is one of the guys who kills the Spilotro character at the end. But I don't think that
was
happened.
fictional.
Fictional.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Which I think that just makes it more dramatic. you
It's
know?
a better
It's so funny.
story.
The guys who buried the Spilotro brothers
Mhm.
got killed by the mob for not doing a good job of burying them.
Really?
Yeah, and all the people who were in on the hit
Yeah.
all got busted and went away for the hit. They were all doing time for killing the Spilotros. Like everybody got busted in that
Yeah.
fucking. Everybody got caught.
So if they just buried him better, it would
So-
have been fine?
yeah,
So the lesson
Oh,
here,
my God. 6 feet deep.
right?
they were found like right away.
10 days later they were found.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. The lesson here is don't stay out of crime, kids.
Did you ever
know?
see the picture?
Get
of
a job.
did you
go
see
to
the
school.
autopsy photo?
Maybe take an improv class. Maybe start a podcast. But do anything. But don't. My friend Adam Friedland from Cumtown, he was like, being a podcaster is kind of like being in the mob. You just hang out with your friends and bullshit. It's like the modern. It's like the modern mafia.
The mafia had more
Being a-
charisma than those guys.
Yeah. Well, no one's disputing that. So anyway, so
Did you ever see the
So
autopsy
now-
photo of Spilotro?
no, we'll
It's
post
fucking
that
brutal.
on the blog.
Look at this shit.
Oh my God.
Describe what that looks
He
like.
looks like
No,
Jason
show it to him.
Voorhees.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. His face looks like the moon.
They beat him to death.
Well, what happened was, okay, once again,
What happened?
he just spoiled it.
What?
Well,
Frank.
Oh, he jumped
Yeah,
ahead.
Well, they beat him to death.
well, the reason they beat him.
Here's
to
how
death,
it played out. Well, you've seen Casino, so we know what it's like.
Right.
But so Spilatro's brother Michael is like a sort of an up and comer in the Chicago outfit. So now I don't know why I guess they needed to get rid of his brother too. But they call
'cause he
Spilotro
would
in for a
He
meeting.
would have retaliated.
Right.
Pro-
Is that a common thing? They take out the guy's family too, or if there's any.
in Sicily, it was like that. I don't know about the American mafia is a lot different than the Italian mafia.
Right.
Right now in Italy.
But my thing is like, how many people could you kill? Because if somebody killed you, I would totally retaliate,
oh yeah.
or I would just be like, well, he probably did something. He probably said
Yeah.
the N-word too many times.
You know the
Fuck
mafia.
somebody's
The mafia has been decimated in this country, but in Italy they're still going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Naples.
In Naples, they had a good. In
Calabria.
Naples, there was like 6 feet piles high of trash in the street.
You ever see Gomorrah?
Yeah, I started watching.
That's
it,
a good movie.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have like a plot, but it's good.
Yeah. So the outfit calls the Spilotro brothers. They're like, we want to meet with you. So Michael picks up Tony from the airport, and the next day they go to this hotel near O'Hare Airport. And Michael tells his wife, he's like, listen, if we're not back by 9 o'clock, something bad happened. Which is a crazy. First of all, these guys don't even make that much money. Like Michael Spilotro had like a little house in the suburbs.
You know how the
He
killers...
made like a plumber's salary.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he wasn't really in yet. He was just like...
Yeah.
He looked up to his brother.
But that's like a crazy
Sure.
thing to have to tell your wife, to be like, if we're not back by 9 o'clock, I'm dead.
You know,
So
funny.
he had
One-
an inkling it was going to go bad.
Yeah.
he knew. Yeah, he knew something was. He
Tony
knew it
used to
was bad.
say... Tony used to say to Frank Collada, I'll never run. Where am I going to go?
That was another. Yeah. Yeah, that was something that. Yeah, that's interesting. Where are you gonna go?
Right. Well,
Costa
Canada.
Rica. Costa Rica.
Nebraska.
They go to Costa Rica.
Can they find you down there?
Probably.
But so if you now, my question is, if you escape and then you go to Costa Rica or something, do they go
Canada.
after your family to find out where you are, or like?
Sometimes.
they
Yeah, I
really wanna
remember I knew a
find you.
guy who got locked up, and they harassed the shit out of his wife. They came to her for his weekly payments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they took it out of her. They said, I know you got money. Where is it?
Wow.
They made her go to the bank and withdraw bonds and shit. And they,
That's a level
Holy
of greed I just
shit.
can't wrap my head around. You're making so much fucking money, and you're like,
you know why these guys got caught
don't
for
get it.
killing the Spilotros?
Yeah.
Because one of the wives of the guys said, yeah, I picked him up at the field. I don't know why he was there. So she fucking dropped the dime on everybody. It was the chick.
Wait, what do you mean?
One of the gangsters' wives told the feds, yeah, I had to go pick
Oh,
him
the guys
up.
who killed the Spilotro
Yeah, she
brothers.
said, I had to go pick him up by the field,
Oh,
by the
jeez.
Indiana state line. I don't know why he was there.
I had to throw away all this digging equipment.
That's
What a dumb-
hilarious.
what a fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
She sounds like a real fucking.
Yeah, they were
tool.
covered in blood and they were holding bats.
Yeah, she said, she goes, he was wearing overalls. I was like, why are you dressed like that?
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think there'd be somebody else to pick him up other than your big mouth wife. But yeah, so Michael's wife calls the cops, and an agent asked Collado where Tony and Michael were, but Collado was like, they're dead, because Tony always said, I would never run because there's nowhere to run to.
Yeah.
So this happened on June 13th, 1986. That was the day the Spilotro brothers went missing. Okay, on June 23rd, 1986, this farmer in Indiana is spraying weed killer on his cornfield, and he notices there's some dirt that was turned over, and he calls I don't know if he dug them up or if he called the cops or whatever, but that was where the Spilotro brothers were buried. They were in their underwear, and they had just been beaten to death. They wanted to. Did they want to make an example out of them, or they wanted to disappear?
Well, it's because he was such a brazen, tough guy. We're going to show you how tough you are.
Yeah.
You know, if he just broke a couple of rules, they would have probably just shot him in the head and buried him.
Mm-hmm.
But because he was such a fucking brazen, like, fuck you, I don't care about the boss, they were like, yeah, all right.
Mm.
They would probably, they told them, they said, beat the fucking shit. Beat them mercilessly.
Well, what happened was in the movie they get killed with bats, but I think in this documentary they said they just did it with their like hands and feet.
Wow.
They
So
show,
they just-
in the movie, they had them,
I mean, that was pretty brutal.
in the movie, they beat them at the field, but
Yeah.
in real life, they beat them in the house, and then they were already like unconscious when they brought them to the field.
Oh, okay. I don't think I could ever beat someone to death.
No way. It's too much.
Well,
Yeah.
if you beat somebody to death and you get caught, it's only manslaughter.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know.
With
Thanks.
no aggravated no weapon.
Manslaughter, you can get out.
Thanks, Frank.
You can probably get out in 4 years.
So
With good behavior.
Well, if you got no record and it was just your self-defense and
Yeah. I have this idea for a movie. Here's my idea for a movie. My autistic brother, he snaps and he kills my mom, so he has to go to jail. So then I buy child pornography so I can go to jail to protect him.
is he old? Is he older?
He's 4 years younger. He's 26.
the way you go to prison is the funniest part of
Yeah.
that movie.
What does he do?
Yeah. He doesn't really work or anything. He just kind of stays at home. He goes on the computer. He, goes for walks and stuff like that. We have a pool, so yeah. But yeah, so he kills my mom. She's got to go to jail. So I go to jail to protect him,
Right.
buying child pornography.
Yeah.
And I get caught, and we're in the same prison. And then me and my retarded brother have to join a white supremacist gang to be safe in prison.
Don't they hate you though because you're like child porn thing?
I don't tell them that.
You know what
Okay.
I noticed? A lot of Italians
Doesn't come up in
have
the movie
mentally challenged, like a mentally challenged child. A lot of Italians.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, growing up in my
because
neighborhood,
God's punishing us.
I don't know why. I mean, I see a lot of mentally challenged.
I
Italians.
really wish that. Well, how come he's laughing and you're just like, oh, blah, 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 I gotta talk. I gotta say what I gotta say.
God is punishing Italians with mentally retarded kids.
There was a lot in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
There was this one guy, Ira.
Yeah.
And he used to yell out bingo numbers. 25, 34, bingo!
Folks, this has been another episode of the Sit Down. Thanks for joining us while we glorify organized crime.
Hell yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Ooh, ain't got no home. I know. I got a voice.